to see if you have an echo or not. Maybe it seems better. Okay. Okay, good. So thank you very much for accepting our invitation today, this afternoon, okay, and for logging on to us on this specific meeting, okay. We are still in January, so first of all, I wish you all the best for 2024. Okay, I wish you the best for you and your close one, and of course, I wish us many sales in 2024. So today we wanted to bring you together just to present you a major step forward. But okay, Tom will present everything in the coming second. Okay, and he will reveal you the contents of this new future. Okay, if you have question during the presentation or after the presentation, okay, do not hesitate to interrupt us. Okay, so we'll be delighted to answer okay to your questions. So it's very important to be interactive and be sure that you catch everything about the meeting. Okay, so we are very proud of this new step. So we hope that we will succeed to give us the same motivation from us. So please, Tom, if you are ready, so shall we start?
I am ready. Thank you very much, Sébastien.
Okay, thank you, Tom.
So let's start. Can everyone hear me well? Yes? Okay. If you don't hear me, raise your hand. Okay. All right. So first of all, I'm very happy to be able to do this presentation, this worldwide presentation, having so many people from the different corners of the earth. That's quite amazing. I think it's a great feeling to be able to talk to you at the same time, and I'm sure it's also a good feeling for you to be able to see everyone here. Even though it is not physical, it's always great to be able to talk. And today we have a very, very interesting subject to present to you. For those who know me, I say hello. For those who do not know me, I say hello also. And just to present myself, I'm a medical business developer, and I've been with LPG for 17 years now. Okay, so as many of you, I share this long experience with LPG, with the endermology treatments, and we know how effective this technology is on many subjects, and particularly aesthetics. We know that we are proud to carry this brand because it's natural, because it works so well, and because we know that in time, even though many different technologies have been coming in and out, LPG remains and prevails. Why? Because we are effective, because we propose results. And not only do we propose results for aesthetics, for face and body, body contouring, local fat, skin tightening, etc. All this we know very well functions perfectly and for everyone at every age. But also there was always this feeling that there's something about the well-being that you feel, that you get from an LPG session. We all know this. We have known this for many years, but there was never any proof, any scientific proof of what it does to the human physiology to improve, to provide this well-being feeling that you get. And actually, during the pandemic, there was a lot of questions of distributors, and maybe that was some of you guys, who came to us and said, "Don't you think that would be interesting to take a look at what effects an endermology treatment, since it has such a strong strong power on human physiology? Don't you think it would be interesting to take a look at what effect it has on immunity?" And of course, we had been talking about it for years already. I speak with Clélia Monteux, that you all know, Dr. Clélia Monteux, and we've had this conversation for many years. And finally, in January of 2023, it was decided to take on and really get into this subject and start this study. Okay, so let me now go ahead and share with you my presentation. Okay. Can everyone see? Yes? Everything okay? All right. So here it is. So of course it was decided to take a look at what it does, what endermology does in terms of immunity, but not only. And the main subject around all this is a subject that we all talk about, that we are all concerned about, and that subject is stress. And stress, anxiety is related, we know very well, is related to many things that affect our quality of life, our immunity, our vitality, our quality of sleep also is extremely important. So we focalize on these three subjects: vitality, which is related to immunity, stress, and sleep. And we have called this protocol V2S protocol for short. Now you understand what V2S means. So as I was saying, we are all subject to a lot of stress in today's world, financial, social, and health has been, has been a subject in the last years, as we were mentioning. It has been a subject, and it has contributed to an increased level of stress. And of course, all this stress affects our physical and mental health. And when your mental health and physical health are impacted, then you will have higher anxiety. You will decrease your cognitive abilities, and you might even suffer from poor sleeping and insomnia. So, and we all know that when you have higher stress, anxiety, and insomnia, this will have an effect on your immune system and make us more vulnerable to infections. So as a result, obviously, as we were saying before, there's a higher and higher demand for global care, not only aesthetic, not only not only face and body, but also this mental state and this ability to improve vitality and quality of sleep is a very high demand. Unfortunately, there's very little that you can do today. So here's what we have found that endermology can do, which is quite amazing. Before we get into the study itself, let's just go back to the definition of the World Health Organization regarding health. What happened?
Somebody is joining.
Okay. So what the definition of health is interesting because it's not only the absence of disease. Health is physical, mental, and social well-being. And I think we all agree on this, as obviously the impact that mental and social well-being has on our physical health is obvious. The name of the study is the impact of the V2S endermology protocol on stress, sleep quality, and immune defenses. To take on this study, we have chosen Professor Christoph Oswirt, who is a doctor in psychology, physiology, I mean. He's a very well-known, worldwide known researcher. He's the CEO of a laboratory called Biscord. He's a university professor, and he was a research director for the INSEP, which is the National Institute of Sports, of high athletic sports in France. And he participated in 6 Olympic Games. So he really is a reference as far as the subject that we were going to look into. So in order to take on a study, what you need to do, as you probably all know, is to have 2 different groups. One group on which you will apply your protocol, and we have called this group the experimental group, the V2S group, which is on your right. Okay, and on the other side, you need a control group that will that will help you and will provide a comparison that will allow you to see how effective the experimental protocol is. Okay, now what is very interesting here is that on the right side, the experimental group got the V2S protocol, which is a very specific protocol, okay, that was designed specifically for that objective. Okay, and you will see, I will explain to you in a little bit more details what this protocol is about. Okay, and on the other side, the control group, the placebo group, also received an endermology treatment, but it was not the V2S treatment, it was an inflammation protocol. So they had the impression of receiving a protocol, of receiving a treatment, but it was not the experimental, it was not the V2S treatment. So this is extremely interesting because we compared two groups of people who did receive endermology treatments, but one of them had the specific V2S treatment. I hope this is very clear because it's extremely important to understand how effective this specific protocol is. Understood? Okay. Now, the program of the study was 10 sessions of endermology for each of the participants, 2 sessions per week. Okay, each session was 40 minutes. And as I told you, the V2S protocol is that very specific protocol that goes along very specific areas that have an effect, a physiological effect on the subject that we're looking for. Okay, so parasympathetic nervous system, autonomous system, and some very specific areas that we know have an effect on sleep, stress, and immunity. Okay, and the other group, the control group, who got an inflammation protocol. All right, this is just a summary of all the different things that were measured along the way during the study for each, during each session or for the first or 10th session, etc., etc. Concerning stress, there were 4 things. To measure stress, we had to measure 4 different items, 4 different elements, which are recognized worldwide as a strong indication of stress. First is heart rate variability. Second is salivary cortisol, okay, cortisol found in saliva, psychometric questionnaires, and cognitive functions. Let me go over this quickly. First, the heart rate variability. It's very interesting to understand this. And as your personal knowledge, I think it's good to know what heart rate variability is, because it's a very interesting measure to find out how much vitality and how effective your autonomic nervous system is. When you measure your heartbeat, you measure a rhythm with heartbeats every so many seconds, or half a second, etc. When you measure heart rate variability, it's going to measure the gap between each heartbeat, and the ability of the body to adjust this distance between each heartbeat depends on the time of day or whatever you're doing, and the ability of the body to cope with whatever is happening during your day. So it means that the higher rate of heart variability is, the better it is. It means that you have more vitality and you are more able to deal with whatever is happening during your day. So heart rate variability, the higher it is, the better it is. You understand? It means that your body is able to adjust and will speed up your heart or slow down your heart in a millisecond to compose with whatever is going to happen during your day at every single moment. Okay? If your body is not able to do this, it means that you're under stress, that your vitality is not very high, that maybe you're tired, so you're not coping very well and you don't feel so good. Okay? Now, cortisol. We all hear about cortisol. It's the stress hormone. Okay, and cortisol obviously is a hormone that is extremely useful to deal with whatever is happening, any stressful situation is happening during your day. And the stress will be dealt with, any stressful situation will be dealt with by the body as it comes along, and then your cortisol level needs to go down, to go back down, because it's a very strong hormone. Okay, unfortunately, if you start living with a lot of stress, and if you start experiencing permanent stress, chronic stress, then you will have what is called chronic high cortisol, and that's very detrimental to your health. And it can even create situations such as heart disease, diabetes, digestive disorders, cognitive disorders. So all these things that we know, and we know stress is not good for you. It is what one of the reasons is because there is too much cortisol going on in your body, and that after medium and long term can have a negative effect on your health. And these are all the different things that can be related to high cortisol, to chronic high cortisol. Psychometric questionnaires. Now, these are worldwide known references to measure stress. So it's just a questionnaire that you ask the participants of the study. The hospital anxiety depression scale is how depressed do you feel. Perceived stress is how much stress do you perceive. And the visual analog scale is just like pain, how much pain from 1 to 10, how much stress or how much muscle pain do you feel. Okay, very simple. Cognitive function is just a very practical, try to follow this target. How fast do you react comparing two different shapes and objects, etc. So that's very simple, straightforward cognitive tests. Blood sample. Obviously, we needed to get blood samples to measure the immune defense. And the immune defense is T lymphocytes. As you know, T lymphocytes are the white cells. And they are a very obvious indication of how strong your immune defense is. Obviously, the more T lymphocytes you have within limits, the better it is. Actimeter is a watch that is used to measure your sleep quality. That's very interesting. It's a watch that you wear all the time, and is going to measure everything that happens when from the moment you go to bed to the moment you wake up in the morning. And this is a very precise science. Sleep is a very precise and highly studied science. A lot of scientists are looking into sleep because it has so much effect on our health and well-being and quality of life. So the actimeter is going to measure the time spent in bed, time taken to fall asleep, actual sleep time, latency to fall asleep, actual sleep time, the still time, obviously, which is extremely interesting because the stiller, the more immobile you are, the better sleep you get, obviously. If you're agitated, it means that you're not sleeping so well. And fragmentation index is the number of times that you're going to move. So this watch is a very expensive watch that will measure all this and will give us a very precise indication of sleep quality. And then there's a scale that is called the IC scale, Insomnia Severity Index, that will also give us an indication of potential insomnia that people suffer from. Now, the Net Promoter Score is a very interesting score also because it's a universal score. Any type of product or service you want to measure satisfaction, you use this very simple score. Whenever you propose a product or service, you will question people of how did they feel about this product, what do they think about it. So you always have 3 categories of people. First category will be the detractors who didn't like it. Passives will be neutral, they don't care. It's neither yes or no, it's just I don't care, it's neutral. And then you have the promoters, which are the people who did appreciate it and have a positive attitude and positive reaction to the product. And the score, the ratio, is simply the difference between promoters and detractors. Okay, so it's very simple and it can be applied to anything. This is why we used it to evaluate also this protocol. Now, let's see the results. Everybody ready? Okay, let's take a look at this. Now, heart rate variability. Remember, the higher your heart rate variability, the better. So for the control group, here you see that there was no significant difference between the beginning and the end of the trial. However, look at this increase in heart rate variability and vitality for the V2S group, an increase of 76.6% over 10 sessions, which was absolutely amazing. Okay, this is a very strong indicator. The level of cortisol, remember cortisol, the adrenaline, the stress hormone, after only one session, okay? One session only, 19% decrease in the level of cortisol. This is huge, okay? On the other control group, there was no difference. On the V2S, 19% decrease only after one session. So let's take a look now. After 10 sessions, we had a 44.6% decrease in the level of salivary cortisol. Let's take a look at the scale for perceived stress. There was a little decrease for this measurement for the control group, which is understandable, as you know, this is exactly what the placebo group is. You put somebody on the table and you give them some, mishi-moshi, and they feel good, that's fine. They will tell you that they feel better. Even if nothing happened, at least you have the impression that something happened, and this explains the reduction by 29% of perceived stress. Now let's take a look at the V2S. We had a double that, 50%, 49.4% decrease in perceived stress. Anxiety and depression, also it's perceived, how much anxiety or depression do you feel? There was no difference in the placebo group, minus 50.9% for the V2S. Now, perception of well-being, it's another, remember from 1 to 10, how well do you feel? There was a 14% difference between the two groups. Muscular pain, another evaluation, no difference in the first group, a decrease of 69% in muscle pain. Now, of course, you can understand that. We know how much, we have many studies on the effect on muscle spasm, etc. So we know how much, that protocol can be useful. But here, with that specific scale, it was once again proven. Results on immune defenses. Remember T lymphocytes, your level of T lymphocytes, no difference in the first group, and an increase of 9.4% in the V2S group. So you need to understand here that obviously your level of white cells will increase if you get sick, for example, okay, which is natural. Obviously, your immune system cranks up. You need to fight a disease. Your T lymphocytes will go up. This is not the case here. All these people were healthy. There was no infection. Everybody was the same and fine. But there was an increase over 10 sessions of 9.4% in the level of T lymphocytes, which means a strengthening of the immune system without any intervention of any disease, bacteria, virus, or anything. Okay, so that's very good because it shows right there that your immune system has been reinforced with this protocol. Now let's take a look at the results on sleep. Insomnia severity, you remember this? Everybody suffers more or less of insomnia. Some people not at all, but the average person maybe has a light insomnia from time to time. Now, on the control group, quite interestingly, you see when you take care of people, even if nothing happens, they sleep better. So that's good. But you will see the difference in our experimental group. There was a 54.7% decrease. So if anyone suffered from any type of insomnia in that group, they went to zero, to complete absence. Okay, you see 9. It goes down to 9. So it was a complete decrease of the level of insomnia. So as a conclusion for sleep, I'm sure you understand how much impact sleep can have on your health. Because obviously everything happens when you sleep. As far as building up your immunity, as far as recharging the batteries, as we say, as far as strengthening and recuperating. Okay, so what was measured obviously was what I just told you, is the perception of insomnia, but also the fact that people were much more immobile, what we call sleep bouts. Your sleep bouts is when you start moving, and when you have less sleep bouts, it means that you slept better. And we all know, when you fall asleep at night and wake up in the morning and you're in the same position, most of the time you said, wow, I slept like a baby, that's quite amazing. And in the contrary, if the sheets are all over the place and you have switched places with your wife or a husband, it means that maybe you didn't have such a good sleep. So that's a very strong indicator of sleep quality and overall capacity to recover. Okay, so that's very interesting to conclude. Now, the results on cognitive functions, okay, which is interesting, because that's what's about productivity. How well people will be able to drive, or how well they will be able to produce in front of their computer. There was no difference in the control group, and there was an increase of 2.5% of accuracy with the V2S. For average cursor deviation you saw is how able are you to follow the cursor around the circle. Okay, it's very simple, but it's a very effective indicator. Now, for some reason, there was an increase in of deviation in the control group, but there was an improvement of 8.1% for that cursor deviation test. Now, remember the net promoter ratio. For the placebo, for the control group, we had a 40% promoters ratio. There was 13% of detractors who didn't like it. Obviously, it's understandable. Some of them realized that there was nothing happening after all. And the passives, 47%, which thought that there might be something, but after all, it was not that great. So, and on the V2S, which is very interesting, on the V2S group, there was 64% of promoters who did obviously appreciate the protocol, and only 36% of passives, and there was no detractors. So at the worst, at the least, people are neutral about it, and all the others were positive, and there was no negative impression of the protocol, which is extremely rare, because you always have somebody who's going to not like something. Okay, which means that if you subtract the detractors from the promoters, which there's not, so we have 64.3% of promoters, and the ratio ends up being 64.3%, which is quite amazing. And actually, it is said that if you are anywhere above 60% is just exceptional. Okay, so this is what we can say about this protocol. It's just exceptional. Now let's wrap it up. As a summary, you remember 76.6% increase for the heart rate variability, decrease of 19% after one session of cortisol, 44.6% decrease after 10 sessions, 69% reduction in muscle pains, 50.9% reduction for stress and anxiety perception. Concerning sleep, there was an improvement of 2.5% for accuracy and 6% for time on target. Reduction of 54.7% for the perception of insomnia. And finally, an increase of 9.4% of T lymphocytes and improvement of immunity. So here it is, guys. That's how amazing, and this is the proof of what it really does to human physiology. This protocol is just mind-boggling. It's just incredible. We did not expect. Of course, when we launched this study, we knew that the results were going to be positive. We had no idea of how positive they were going to be, and that went just way above our expectations.
Thank you, Tom.
Are there any questions? Amel. Some people I know and have not seen for so long. Amel, how are you? Good to see you.
It's a pleasure to see you again.
Yeah, so it is.
Very
Good.
exciting news.
Yes, very exciting. I'm sure you can use this very well in Canada, for sure.
We need it indeed.
Linda.
Hello, Linda. I'm pretty sure that Linda knows that she will push the new protocol on the prospect, and she has already an opportunity to knock the door and to push the customer. Say, okay, now
No, but I
have
suspect
an amazing thing to show you.
Yeah. I suspect Linda had already invented this protocol 10 years ago.
I already talked about it. Wait for it.
So
I
maybe you
wanted
can
to
tell
ask
us how
you,
you launched it.
I wanted to ask you, how are we going to start promoting this? Are we going to wait for the documents, presentation, the
Yes.
tools? Because this is an exciting news. This is amazing.
Yes.
And we want to, for sure, we're going to be able to combine it with the aesthetics.
Yes.
However, for example, this weekend, I'm going to they call it La Santé Intégrative, un congrès de la santé intégrative. And that's just amazing for them because I'm going to be using a different blurb. I'm going to show them the brochures that we already have. But now, are we going to have something that we can show as a support and promote officially?
Well, Mandarin is going to show you right after this. Mandarin is going to show you all the tools that we we have prepared for the launch. Obviously, you are not going to have everything for this weekend.
No,
But you can.
No.
I know you. I know you. I know how. Yeah.
we're
We want
starting
it
to
now.
dive into
But-
that. We've done it for a long time, but
No, but
with not enough content.
yes, you can tease about it. Because you know it's coming. You
Mhm.
know we have the study. The study is done. It's finished. It's wrapped
Yes.
up. So it's all a matter of putting it into nice tools, nice communication tools. So
That's right.
you can already talk about it, obviously, but the tools will come a little bit later,
Okay.
and you'll have everything you need to promote and explain and roll it out in your market.
Beautiful. This is great. Thank you.
Are there any further questions at the moment? Or shall we-
Canada. Now, how about the USA? Michelle, you're going to make a killing with this. American people are so stressed.
Sorry, my mic was off. Yeah, it's great. As soon as you can get that FDA cleared.
That's right. I was just gonna say the FDA, he has it.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe I think Mandarin, you can answer to Linda with the tools who will be available, not for the weekend next weekend, but in the coming weeks. Because actually the protocols will be pushed in the devices end of April on the aesthetic machines. Okay, and for the medical, it will coming after.
So after April, we will be able to have them in the machines, the protocols after April?
End of April, it will be pushed, yes, in the devices. End of April.
Okay.
So you have time to teach the customer to prepare how you want to launch, okay? We are working on the tools, okay? So Mandarin, we will show you the tools will be ready.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Is there a presentation that I could have just to show on the weekend?
You will have a sales book.
Not at the weekend yet. Sorry, Linda.
Whatever was shown to us, no?
Why? If you need it for the weekend.
Linda, I'll send you the presentation.
Thank you. I'm just gonna show them a little bit just so we can see the
Yes.
numbers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Online?
Yeah.
I will share with you myself.
Ah, c'est bon, putain.
Dire que c'est vraiment la machine sport. Je sais pas si c'est clair pour tout le monde. C'est pas sur le marché médical. Moi, j'ai des Polonaises qui sont, faut bien le redire.
Mhm.
Tu le redis bien?
Okay. Now,
Thank you, Tom. Thank
is
you,
there an echo?
everybody.
Yes. Now, just to insist on one point, for the moment, the protocol will only be on the spa machine. Okay, not on the medical device yet. Okay, so just make sure you realize that for everyone who, every one of you who has the medical devices, the protocol will come later, at a later point in the year. For now, in April, it's only going to be the aesthetic and spa machines.
Mm.
But could they follow the protocol and like the expert menu?
Ah, les Canadiens.
Ben, on a que les machines médicaux.
Tu poses toujours tes questions là.
The thing that I was thinking with Mandarin is that a medical device has a medical part, but also has an aesthetic part in it. So for me, even a medical device will have the V2S protocol in the beauty part.
Right, but it's a medical
Okay,
device.
Yeah, and we are not sure.
We're not
Yeah.
allowed.
Okay, yes.
No. Believe me, we try
Yeah.
the best we can.
Yeah, I know.
Try, we push, but
Hopefully,
if the legislation does not allow us, we cannot do it. We take too much risks. So,
Yeah.
so it's just a matter of waiting a few months, and it will be fine, you know. But if you go ahead and do something that you're not allowed to do, we get in trouble.
But they do have access to the aesthetic protocols in the medical
Yeah, but it
one,
will not be
right?
pushed. It will not be pushed in the
It is-
medical
yes.
devices.
It won't be
Okay.
pushed on the soft.
Okay.
Okay.
I have a question. What happened when they stopped to do the treatment? Are they then going back to the situation just before the treatment, or have you not measured that?
What do you mean? Going back, meaning that if you stop the treatment,
La rémanence.
Yes,
La
exactly.
rémanence.
If you stop the treatment, what
Well,
happened then?
yeah, I understand your question. Well, obviously, we have this experience for so many years. We know that whenever you do a treatment, a physiological treatment, it's the same principle. If you're going to make a treatment for aesthetics, would it be body or face, you know that you need to do the 12, the 10, the 8, the 10, the 12 sessions in a short period of time. So you make sure that the body and the physiology starts and you get your results. And then you need a maintenance process during the following months. And the maintenance schedule is not as tight as the cure itself. Okay, so it will be maybe every 3 weeks or every month you will have to maintain the result. Okay, we always compare this to exercise. If you exercise for 1 year, for 2 years, you will get results. If you stop, then the results slowly will decrease and you need to start exercising again. The physiology always works the same way. So I think this will apply exactly the same way to this protocol as well. So I would suggest to propose it in exactly the same way as the aesthetic protocols. You know, you do your sessions, your 10 sessions over the course of 5 weeks, and then propose for that person. If that person wants to keep, getting the results, the rémanence, then you need to come every month and do that protocol again.
Thank you. Great answer.
Tom, I have another question. Talking about the protocols, if somebody does it in an aesthetic, for example, you have an aesthetic clinic and they want to work on their body contouring and all that, but at the same time, they want to improve their overall health with this protocol. Should they do the 10 first, or they can combine once a week? They do the V2 protocol and then they continue the other session, the second session with their aesthetic protocol, or how would that work?
Well, I think it will be obviously more effective or more visible if you separate the two things. Because if you start mixing up everything, you don't really know. It might work, and it will probably work, you know.
It will work.
It will work, but maybe not as obvious as if you do it separately. So maybe you can do one treatment at one point and then follow it up with a V2S protocol. That would be my suggestion. I think everybody agrees.
It's all about the goals of the customer.
Yeah. Well, the interesting part about
Well,
this, you see?
but they want to feel better.
Yeah, of course they want to feel better, but it's just a matter, and you're the expert with this. Since you can include this in your original assessment, you know, we were not able to talk about this officially before. You can always mention that endermology feels good, it's great, you come at midday during your work day and you feel good. Now we have the proof, so you can really officially include it in your original assessment. And I think compose a program that will have on one side the aesthetic part and on the other side the V2S protocol and the immunity, stress, sleep improvement. But commercially, in my opinion, it's better to do it separately. Do 5 weeks, you do one, and then you start doing the other one.
Okay, thank you.
What we can say as well, Linda, I think that, you know, as women, if you sleep better, then, you know, you release, you know, and you
Yes,
don't
cortisol.
stock cortisol. You know, we stress women, you know, we gain weight. So there's an impact as well, you know, on the look as well. You feel better,
True.
you look, you know, slimmer. So there will be an effect, you know, on the aesthetic part as
True.
well. The
Yeah.
stress, the cortisol, yeah.
So the question is, do you start with the V2S protocol and then
Yeah.
do the aesthetic or not?
Yes.
That's a good
Yes,
question.
I
Well, I
think,
think
yeah.
that we have to, as we did for from the start, is just to ask the customer what they want and to prioritize what do they want. If they want
But this
to,
is a
you know,
good point that you just made. It's true that if the body is stressed and the cortisol
yeah,
level
you,
is
you
high,
gain weight.
you
Then
gain weight.
You think you're
Yeah.
ugly. You have no motivation, and
The skin.
so I think that, you know, if
So
you feel
yes,
stressed, you
so
go with
first-
this.
Exactly. So first you work on the mind perception, and then you might even get better results for aesthetics later.
yes, I think.
Then you sleep better. You have also a self rejuvenation of your cells, so you look, you know, younger. You know, your skin is better as well on your face.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
For sure.
Hey, Linda, this is also the way to sell 2 packages to your customer.
We sell 40 sessions, don't you know that? We already sell them 40 sessions in Canada.
She's since for 1 hour she's sold 10 of them already to the customer. She's already excited.
And if you think about, you know, a lot of our customers, women, let's say the good target is 45, 60 years old, with all, you know, the premenopause, the
Oh my God, I was just
the
gonna say.
stress, hormones, you know, fucked up and so on. We should have, you know, a lot of good results.
I was just
Really?
gonna say, don't use that word, please. Not today.
Okay, Linda.
Don't use the menopause word.
Okay.
We're trying to get away from this.
Can you relate?
Not at all. Oh my goodness, yes. And the hormones and everything, absolutely. This could be an amazing, you know, tool. Yeah.
Okay, shall we move on to the tools then?
Yeah.
Please.
Okay, thank you, Tom and Seth, for introducing me. I'm Mandarine Basset, International Marketing Manager for LPG Group. I've been with LPG for 14 years, and I'm the team manager for export marketing with Sandrine, with Ear, and Kitri and Francesca. You know them. In order to show and inspire you about this launching with some teaser tool. This is the first tools. It's ready to go. We have an emailing and flyer of this emailing. It's just teaser for beauty market only, and it's ready for Facebook update for beauty market too. It's summary of protocol and summary of this study. So it's ready to go for these tools. And after, for the upcoming tools, we have the Facebook update for medical. We have prospection flyer, beauty and medical, in order to help you during the appointment with your clients. The paper protocol, we are preparing that. a video tutorial with a training department in order to show a demonstration of this protocol. We are preparing the B2C rack brochure for both market leaflets and the press release in order to help you to prepare a press conference, for example. And that's all. This is the package that the package in the pipeline for the moment. And the update of the machines is for end of April, but you said that already for both markets. Voilà. I think
And voilà.
And voilà. In French, in the text. Finish, I think. Do you have any questions about that? Or any subject?
There was a message from Julie, MTC.
Yeah.
Yes. Will the results of this study be available somewhere after the presentation?
So
Yes.
what I'm thinking is that quite soon we'll send you like a breaking news newsletter
As you
with all the contents that's already available. So this will include the teaser, which is already ready for you. We will include the recording of the sessions. Just to warn you, you'll have two different links because there was an issue with the recording with this session. So I will include also this morning's session. So like you'll have all of Tom's speech performance from this morning, and I recorded this session from the questions part. But you will also benefit from the questions that were asked this morning, which were quite relatable and interesting as well. So we'll send all that to you so that you can relate, and we'll of course send you the presentation that was shown today. Is that okay for you?
Okay, and one important point is to how to launch and to communicate. So you have tools for sure, okay, and do not hesitate to get in touch with your marketing contacts, okay, like Kitri, Sandrine, Francesca, and also your export manager, okay. So Jeremy, Sylvie, Claude, and Paul Arthur, okay, are here also to help to promote this new protocol, okay. So of course it's a huge advantage for your customers, okay, and for the end consumers also. But if I was a sales guy, okay, believe me, I will bring my laptop, okay, to explain how it works and to get the opportunity to have a meeting with a prospect, with old customers, to tell them, okay, so please receive me just a few minutes. I have an important things to show you. So this is because the finality, the ultimate aim is to sell for sure and to sell more. And this is the opportunity maybe to relaunch workshops or whatever to promote LPG and back to a customer, the prospect said, LPG, yes, maybe, but not now. Or okay, I'm focused on the other things. But okay, this is the opportunity for you to organize events with maybe a press conference, or maybe with your prospect customers, key opinion leader, to talk about that. And the finality is to sell. Okay. Amen.
Regarding
Amen.
regarding the KOL, to have a doctor, for example, to talk about this here in Norway, is this research is it going to be published in a journal?
Probably, but we don't know yet which one. But it's going to take, as you know, it takes always at least a year to a year and a half to get a publication. So it's in the works, and as soon as it's published, of course, we will send it to you.
Okay, thank you.
Also, it's a good point if we have a KOL that could talk about this to some other doctors, it would be an amazing thing because it has more,
Yes.
you know how they are.
Yeah, maybe Professor Oswiers will be able to do that. He's quite a good presenter, and that might be good.
In English and French.
Yes.
So Linda, she already organized an event with the professor.
Is he available this weekend? Is he available this weekend?
Okay, good. So, are there any more questions? No, it's clear. Okay.
We know where to reach you.
Yes, I'm sure you will reach us if you need to. No problem. All right. So it was great to see you all. If you have anything, any other questions that come up, don't hesitate to let us know what you need. It was great to see you and share this amazing study with you. We wish you all a lot of success in your cells. Okay.
Thank you.
Good luck and thank you for your time.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you
you.
for
Thank you, guys.
thanks for being here with us.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone.
Take care. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.